Back to our left. You didn't think I was going to leave you out, Stuart, did you? I think he's sleeping.
I'm wide awake, thank you.
All right.
Amazing.
You know, that Robinson family bought this land in the 1800s for 50 cents an acre, 52,000 square acres. It's worth billions. It's also preserved land, which makes it non-taxable. They're the same guys that own the island called Ni'ihau. We'll probably see that here in a little bit. And then Bruce Robinson lives up here. He's a humble guy, chooses to drive home most times. He could do it a lot faster though. It turns out the helicopter that was in Jurassic Park, that's his helicopter. I'll show you right where he lives. Easy to find his place. So not this hillside you see approaching. Look to the next hillside furthest up ahead, but follow it to our left. See that gray house sitting out there about 9, 10 o'clock? Lives right on top of that cliff out there. Got a nice view. Now the next valley approaching up here called Olakele, it was a wedding gift to the Robinsons from a family called the Knudsons. They're the guys that created the tree tunnel. They own as far into the valley to the right as you're going to see here in a second, all the way out towards the shoreline to our left. Once we cross over this ridge, you'll see the island of Ni'ihau a little further to the left. Long, skinny island on the horizon. Not many people live there anymore. It's all pure-blooded Hawaiians, maybe 70 people at this point. Now you see what I mean? Nice wedding gift, huh? This is not what you think. It's not Waimea. Not yet. We got to fly over the Robinsons' property line first before we get to that. And I'll show you what that looks like. But the town that you'll see way off to our left out there where the river goes out, that is Waimea town, but you have to drive through the town before you get to the canyon. And I'll fly right over the property line. I'll make it real easy to find. So the property line, you got 3 hills approaching up ahead of us here that all parallel one another. On the third one up, there's a dirt road, which is pretty much horseback only. Once we cross over that, we're out of Robinson land, and we'll go into state land. What you don't see, though, is the road also goes to a cabin up in the mountains they own. Everything in the mountains to our right is the Alakai Swamp. That's the highest swamp in the world, home of the koa tree. This is the property line coming up this road just about to pass below us. Goes up that steep red hill to our right. So as you look down, you see it passing below you, I'd say right about there. Now we're on our way to Waimea Canyon. So most of you already driven up in the canyon here? Some of you have?
Not yet.
The rest of you just sticking with Mai Tais and beaches for now?
Yeah, right now so far.
We came here, stayed here a whole day, and drove up to all the
Oh, you did?
But, yeah.
Oh, good, good.
Yeah.
And it's a fun drive, as some of you found out. Highway 550 is the name of the road, runs along the cliffs up there. For those of you that didn't do it, make sure you go to the end of the road too. Not everybody does that, but it goes to Kalalau Valley. That's halfway down the Nepali coastline. It's an amazing view.
Go there tomorrow.
This is also the first place you really see the state tree. See these trees around here look like broccoli? That's a kukui nut tree. So if you know what a buckeye looks like, it looks like a miniature version of that. The trees that look like broccoli, bright green, that's a state tree. Now the red color is because Kauai's high in iron. Also the oldest of the Hawaiian Islands. It's 5.5 million years old. Big Island's the youngest. That's 800,000 years old. We fly in all the Hawaiian Islands. 2 bases on the Big Island, Kona and Hilo, and of course Oahu, Maui. Now if you ever want to hike the canyon, certainly the easiest trail to remember by name up here, it's called Canyon Trail. It goes right up to a waterfall I'm going to show you called Waipo'o Falls. Honestly, you'll see the waterfall better from the road than you will the trail, and I'll show you why. So that Waipo'o Falls, I believe if you start looking high into the mountains to our right, you'll just start to see it sneaking up to us here. So Waipo'o Falls is about 1,000-foot waterfall now approaching. Trail's located left side of the upper waterfall along the slope right by the tree line. So if you happen to see little dots in that cliff up there, they're people. Overall the trail is 1.8 miles round trip. It's about 10-15 feet wide and no guardrail. It's completely exposed. You don't see it with me, but there's another waterfall hidden behind that top one. The trail goes right to it. You can go swimming in that one. You don't feel it up here with me, but it's colder. We lifted off at about 85 degrees. Right now we're showing 71 degrees. That's also why twice a year there's a reservoir up in the mountains I'll show you, where you can go fishing for rainbow trout up here. Pretty clear on the horizon today too, so I suspect as we cross over the ridgeline here, you'll still see the island of Ni'ihau out in the distance, and you'll probably see a smaller island out there that looks like a pyramid. It's called Laihua. It's actually shaped like a half moon, uninhabited. As you start to look out there on the horizon to our right, you can just start to see those twin islands out there. It may look like there's a third island out there, but that island on the left side of Ni'ihau, that's still the same island. Now you can see the main road for the canyon, Highway 550. It's right on the edge of the cliffs here. Now you got that pond to our right, which is the Pu'ulua Reservoir. There's where you trout fish. They're not natural to Kauai. They bring them in. They raise them in that rectangular tank down there. Now this is a site of a forest fire that happened 4 years ago. Just last year they finally cleared out those dead trees. These were eucalyptus. Most of these trees are actually. The remainder of the dirt roads you'll see up here, they're hunting roads. People hunt black-tailed deer, goat, wild boar, pig, pheasant, turkey, everything but the chickens. We're the only island with no mongoose.